Anyway, let's stick with the NFL, Rob. And, of course, Kyler Murray, $230 million, 230.5 to be
Don't
exact.
cheat him. Don't cheat him that
Right.
0.5.
Right. Over what, 5 years? Second highest paid quarterback in the league next to Aaron Rodgers, $46 million per season. And Patrick Mahomes, who by all accounts is just flat out better than Kyler Murray. He said this because obviously people are starting to look at Mahomes like, dude, you shortchanged yourself. And here's what he said: is all these quarterbacks pass him in salary. Here he goes.
When I signed my deal, I knew I was going to be pretty set for life, regardless of what the market kind of happens. But you just keep playing. I mean, money is one thing, but when you get those Super Bowl rings at the end of your career, I think that's going to be the thing that you look back upon. And I think I've made enough money from the football field and then obviously off of it as well that it won't matter at the end of the day. Especially at the quarterback position, kind of the next guy is the top paid guy. Any of these top tier quarterbacks, they make such a difference on NFL football teams that it's going to get passed up. And I mean, even if you look at guys that signed last year to this year, they got passed up. And I'm sure when Burrow, Herbert, and Russell and all these guys come around, they'll keep setting the bar even higher.
All right, that's Patrick Mahomes. And Rob, Joe Burrow, of course, entering his third year. He'll be wanting that big lucrative deal. Excuse me. After next season. And the owner for the Bengals. Now, the Bengals, remember, Rob, why people didn't even want Burrow to go to the Bengals? Because they're
Not me and you.
cheap. Right. But what people were saying, not only are they bad, they're bad because their ownership is cheap.
Because it's a family-run business.
Right. They don't have as much money.
They don't.
And that's true for the Lakers, too.
Right.
Right.
They're family-run business. It's not like some of these corporations that are behind. The Knicks used to be owned by Gulf and Western, Chris. I told you the story with Al Bianchi Gulf and Western had $4 billion worth of cash on hand, and he was going to spend some of it. These are fortunes that these families have started. They don't have that kind of money laying around. They really don't. They're waiting for the NFL to deposit that check.
And Mike, let it be known, Mike Brown, the owner, here's what he said when discussing the upcoming deal for Joe Burrow a year from now. We don't have sound, so I'll just read the quote. He says, I sort of like how Mahomes said he doesn't care about what those guys are getting. He's set for life with what he's got. And why isn't that a good way to look at it? I'm thinking. So, Rob, I know you've been critical of Mahomes' contract from day one. Your thoughts?
Patrick Mahomes is mashugana and crazy. Like, he took a bad deal. This is why it was a bad deal. Not only, Chris, he's going to wind up being the 9th or 10th best, highest paid quarterback when it's all said and done. There was no reason for Mahomes to take the deal, which was only, I know the number floated was $500 million, right? But only $63 million, Rob G, am I correct? $63 million, Chris, was guaranteed at the time he signed it. There was just no reason to do that. And then the whole premise of it was, oh, well, you'll be able to keep your stars because there'll be more money for other people. But yet Tyreek Hill and Honey Badger, they're all gone.
Well, and Orlando Brown
is now, Chris, and this is my point. It's like if you was taking less and they were going to use that money to pay other people, then maybe I could be bought into that. But that's not what happens because it all changes from year to year. And what you think you're doing and helping the organization, they go and go like, well, he's signed. We're going to do whatever we need to do. And if I'm Joe Burrow, I would tell Paul Brown to go Mike Brown. I'm sorry, Paul Brown was his pops, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mike Brown to go jump in the lake. Go jump in the lake. And why don't you take less money in charge? You know what my response would be? Mike Brown, how much money is enough? You own an NFL team. Why don't you cut the ticket prices in half and cut the $19 beers to $8? How much is enough, Mike Brown? This whole it sounds good to me because you want a hometown discount. If you can't pay what the market is paying, sell your team and get out, Mike Brown. But asking people to help you out while let me see your bank account. If he has no money in it, Chris, then I'll buy it. I guarantee you Mike Brown and his family has money. because they own the
Of
team.
course.
And it's comical that would be his conversation. That's why I was mad at Mahomes, only from the standpoint when you open this Pandora's box, other owners are going to try to use that as an example. But I'm just telling you, since Mahomes signed, they haven't won. And he did them a favor, but they haven't won since.
What I would say is, obviously, it was not a great contract Mahomes signed.
Everybody,
I do think he's going to get the money. It was 10 years, $450 million. And I think with incentives, it could maybe get up to $500 million. He'll get that money. So, I mean, obviously, I think you should have got the guaranteed money. But I think he's going to get it anyway. But still, the fact that he doesn't have certain out clauses, Rob.
That's the worst part, Chris. Yes.
Right. And the team does.
That's the worst part.
Yeah, that stuff is just the particulars that I don't like about it. I will say this, because you just now, but even more so in the past, you were really bothered by it because of the precedent it could set.
Because he had the leverage, Chris. He was that guy, a young player who won an MVP, who won a Super Bowl. Kansas City was at his beck and call. It wasn't the other way around.
But here's the deal. It hasn't hurt the other quarterbacks, which I'm glad to see. No other quarterbacks are like the teams might be trying to say, hey, did you see Mahomes' deal? It was only, $63 million guaranteed or something? They're not listening to that.
Yeah, but
Aaron Rodgers didn't hold him back. Deshaun Watson even didn't hold him back with all his issues. So I like the fact this has not worked against other quarterbacks, and I like that. I hope that the Chiefs do right by Mahomes and allow him get out of this contract and really get the money he deserves. Maybe if he leads them to another Super Bowl or two, they'll do that. But he is it's in their hands, and he allowed that to happen. Now, what I won't criticize him for is, and I actually like I would have signed a better contract, but he's happy. And I think he's got the right attitude of, it's not just about every last dime that I can get. He's right. He's set for life. His kids are set for life. And if he's happy with the deal, then I think that's the right attitude. You can't be counting everybody's money and then let it get you down and you don't go out there and play effectively. So I don't have an issue with that, but it wasn't a good deal just because of, Rob, the little language. I mean, why wouldn't you get out clauses for yourself? Why wouldn't you get as much guaranteed money as you could?
He should have gotten a fully guaranteed contract if they gave one to.
Well, he would have been the first.
No, they gave it to from Minnesota. Kirk Cousins.
Was Cousins fully guaranteed?
Yeah, he got a 3-year fully guaranteed contract. He was the first one, Chris, who got that, and that's why I thought that Mahomes could have really continued to push that. And he had the leverage to do it, and they could have done that. And even just shocking that Kyler Murray didn't get fully guaranteed money. He got $160, and I think Deshaun Watson had them over the barrel only because of the Baker Mayfield scenario and where they were. They were stuck. He had all the they were trying to get him, and if they didn't do it, he wasn't going to approve the trade. So they were kind of over a barrel. But Mahomes should have been that standard setter, and he should have been the example for the other quarterbacks. I'm just saying because he had that talent. That's why I'm disappointed.
I think he's the best quarterback in the league. And I don't know why, and I think, Rob G, I think he's with Lee Steinberg. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But it seems like Mahomes was just... Lee Steinberg's a reputable agent, Rob.
Yeah, but I want to. I don't
know why I don't know if he push Mahomes to do differently, and Mahomes was just like, "No, this is what I want."
I don't know, but I want to give you. If you remember back when he signed, this was a quote from an anonymous agent in the Athletic at the time. Quote: "Deal was horrendous for all players moving forward. The kid essentially gave up free agency for his entire career." End quote. And that was the other thing. is that, like you said, Chris, he has no outs.
Right.
He could have
That's what I
signed.
don't
He could have
like.
signed a 4-year, fully guaranteed, Chris, and then came back and hit him over the head with another one. You know,
Well,
like,
he said he wanted the security, but you can have a longer deal, but have outs. You don't have to take the out if you don't want it, right? That's security. He doesn't
team
really
has
have
outs.
the security, right? Because they have outs. He doesn't really have the security that he talked about wanting.
And let me give you the last part of the quote from this anonymous agent. Quote, no one has greater leverage than Mahomes, right? His agents missed a big opportunity to change the game. It's a big miss. Worst deal done in the NFL in the last 20 years. And
Well, yeah, look, again, some of the language, the clauses is not great. He's still getting $500 million. I'm not going to, it is what it is. But the good news, it's not ruined it for other players. It just hasn't. Okay, so Mahomes didn't set the bar. Okay, but Deshaun Watson did. Kyler Murray did to a degree. I mean, he's got that homework clause in there. So, and that's something else that maybe teams will start looking at stuff like that. So I don't know. Like I said, it ultimately, because Mahomes is so good, he should get his money and probably more. But he didn't help himself with that contract.
Right. This is the other thing. The only people who are getting fully guaranteed are like free agents or people who weren't with their teams. Mahomes could have been the guy to say, hey, you drafted me. You're going to fully, invest in me. And that's the part where, as you look forward, guys haven't been doing that. But if you have any kind of leverage or you're in the move or somebody wants you, that seems to be the only way that an owner would be willing. So it was a missed opportunity. And I get what you're saying with his money, but I wish that his agent and his people would have done more. I think they missed a golden opportunity.
I don't know. It's hard to believe Steinberg went for all this. And if Mahomes wasn't pushing him to do this, Rob, then that's malpractice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, if unless Mahomes was like, no, this is what I want, come on. How could you do that? So